Historically, people that lived for very long time periods in the same place instead of turning to a migratory lifestyle have produced rich cultures. This is the case of the Romanian people, which today exhibit one of the richest cultures and folklores on the planet, with only people such as the more numerous Chinese living on a larger area coming anywhere near the amazing diversity of the one found in areas inhabited by Romanians in Europe. As shown by the experiences of people who have attempted it in the past, a lifetime is literally not enough to know everything there is to know about any of the areas we will talk about here. Centered around a core set of values, symbols, styles and traditions shared by all, each geographical area has branched out over the ages with its unique style, and within these areas individual counties, cities and villages have developed their own local cultures. Famous rivalries continue to persist between these geographical areas, counties and villages. These local and regional cultures all share similarities which trace their roots very far back in time and are a testament to the resilience and continuity of the Romanian people. For example, the clothes of a Romanian peasant painted in the 19th century look identical in every way to the Dacian ones we have seen in the previous videos. Those costumes were still worn casually by Romanians at the dawn of World War II, including the famous Dacian shoes, called a pincă. But such similarities can be found with cultures much older than the Dacian one. Today the Romanians still practice many pre-Christian rituals thousands of years old, although most do not have the original religious meaning to those practicing them. For example, in some parts of Romania, an old Dacian custom of placing a totem pole, instead of a cross, at the head of a tomb is still practiced. A Dacian belief was that the soul leaving the body turns into a bird, and thus the poles are decorated with various symbols and a wooden bird sits at the top. Compared to other European countries, the transition to Christianity happened very fast in Romania because of the old Dacian belief that the soul is immortal. But like all other European nations, they had a lot of pagan rituals related to solstices, seasons, etc. For example, the Dacians already had a custom of their own that fell on the day chosen by the Vatican to represent Christmas. The custom involved the killing of wild boars to help them through the harsh winters. This custom was kept after the introduction of the Christmas holiday, and today domestic pigs are killed all across Romania in the days before Christmas. A huge array of other archaic pre-Christian rituals probably related to the winter solstice and animal gods are also practiced in all areas inhabited by Romanians, like the goat ritual, the bear ritual, the horses ritual, the plough ritual done at New Year's Eve, etc. Many customs are inherited from the Romans as well, such as the belief in fairies that visit a newborn baby and determine his destiny, or the placing of a pine tree, replacing the cypress tree which did not grow in Dacia, in front of the house of a dead man. The funeral customs inherited from the Romans are combined with practices which were typical of the Dacians, such as the celebrating of a death instead of mourning it, or the commemorating of all dead ancestors on a specific day which is now a Christian holiday. We could go on all day talking about the diverse ancestral rituals and customs practiced in Romania, so we'll describe just one more, one coming from the vast ocean of ancient myths still preserved. The one related to the day of Dragobete, the equivalent of Saint Valentine's Day. Dragobete is said to be the son of Docia, a daughter of King Decebalus. She has her own myth, related to the passage from winter to spring. Dragobete is the one who ends the winter and lets the spring come and nature revive. This is the time when love revives as well, and animals and birds mate. Young couples who make vows a certain number of times on this day will stay in love for the whole year. The music and dances of the Romanian people are simply too diverse to cover in such a short space. This area is so vast that a meaningful presentation would require a few hours. So we'll discuss a single dance here, one of the oldest. A magical ritual initially. Variants of this ancient dance can also be found in Portugal or in Britain, where Roman legions made up of Dacians were stationed.
Performed in the Alt region of southern Romania, the Calus ritual dance also formed part of the cultural heritage of the Vlachs of Bulgaria and Serbia.
Călușul să-l jucăm! În credință și dreptate! În credință și dreptate! Să ascult comanda vătapului! Să ascult comanda vătapului! Și nu ascult nimic din câștig! Și nu ascult nimic din câștig! Iar acum ar așa!
Although the oldest documented music used in this dance dates from the 17th century, the ritual probably derived from ancient purification and fertility rites, using the symbol of the horse, which was worshipped as an embodiment of the sun. The ritual's name derives from the callus, the wooden part of the horse's bridle. The callus ritual features a series of games, skits, songs and dances, and was enacted by all-male Calusari dancers to the accompaniment of 2 violins and an accordion. Groups of Calusari dancers, sporting colourful hats, embroidered shirts, and trousers adorned with small jingling bells, perform complex dances which combine stamping, clicking of the heels, leaping, and swinging of the legs. According to tradition, groups of dancing and chanting Calusari, who were thought to be endowed with magical healing powers, went from house to house, promising good health and prosperity to villagers. Young men used to be initiated into the ritual by a vata, or master, who had inherited the knowledge of descantece, or magic charms, and the dance steps from his predecessor.
As we have already seen, the main components of the Romanian national costumes are practically unchanged for thousands of years and are common with those of other people of Europe where the Thracian presence was strong. These costumes were worn up to the 20th century when they started being worn mostly on special occasions and then stopped being used altogether after World War II. These costumes show the same explosion of diversity as all other areas of the Romanian popular culture. Another interesting ancient custom is the painting of eggs in the spring, today done on Easter. This custom is also practiced in Moldova and the parts of Ukraine close to the border to Romania, where Romanians have been assimilated by the Slavs, roughly matching the area that the Cucutni culture occupied in the past. Another archaic custom that is practiced in the area occupied by the Cucutni culture by both Romanians and the assimilated Romanians in southern Ukraine is the use of the Carpathian horn to transmit various signals between mountain peaks. This instrument is thought to date back to the Thracian shepherds. Variants of this instrument were used in all parts of Romania in the past and not just by mountain shepherds. For example, it was used to transmit signals in battle by various Romanian commanders during the Middle Ages. Pottery has also occupied an important part in these areas since the Neolithic. The huge diversity of Romanian proverbs was collected in an 8-volume, 8,000 pages long collection in the late 19th century. Amazingly, this work was criticized for being incomplete. It would take an English literary genius to preserve the simplicity and rhymes of these proverbs while translating them into English, so I will just post a few of my favorites here. On the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the Romanian wooden churches are a spectacular example of the creativity of ordinary people. These were built all over Romania, but more in Transylvania, where the German, Hungarian and later the Austrian occupiers would not let the Romanians build stone buildings for centuries. Some of these churches resemble wooden churches built in the Scandinavian peninsula. Houses and other rural buildings also varied a lot between different regions, based on local customs and natural resources existent in the area. Another area where the creativity of the Romanian people was expressed was in the construction of elaborate wooden gates. This custom was specific mostly to mountainous areas where wood was plenty and was also preserved in a small region inhabited by Romanians that were forced to adopt the Hungarian language in the past. Last but not least, the Romanian folklore is filled with poems, stories, ballads, etc. about all sorts of things, from historical figures such as Roman Emperor Trajan or the family of Dacian King Decebalus, to famous outlaws, to nature or daily life, etc. Some of these are simply masterpieces which put most professional poets to shame. We will now listen to one of these peasant ballads, and this will end this presentation. What we've seen here is the tip of the iceberg, of course, but it should give you an idea about the way of life of the simple Romanian people throughout history.
Pe un picior de plai, pe o gură de rai, iată vin în cale, se cobor în vale, 3 turme de miei cu 3 ciobănei. Unul-i moldovean, unul-i ungurean și unul-i vrâncean. Iar cel ungurean și cu cel vrâncean mării se vorbiră, ei se sfătuiră pe la pus de soare ca să mi-l omoare. Pe cel moldovean, că-i mai ortoman și are oi mai multe, mândre și cornute, și cai învățați și câini mai bărbați. Dar cea mioriță, cu lână plăviță, de 3 zile încoace, gura nu-i mai tace, iarba nu-i mai place. Mioriță, laie, laie, bucălaie, de 3 zile încoace, gura nu-ți mai tace, ori iarba nu-ți place, ori ești bolnăvioară, drăguță mioară. Drăguțule bace, dă-ți oile încoace, la negru zăvoi, că iarbă de noi și umbră de voi. Stăpâne, stăpâne, îți cheamă și un câine, cel mai bărbătesc și cel mai frățesc, că la pus de soare vreau să mi t-omoare baciul ungurean și cu cel vrâncean. Oiță bârsană, de ești năzdrăvană și de-a fi să mor în câmp de mohor, să spui lui vrâncean și lui ungurean ca să mă îngroape aici pe aproape, în strunga de oi, să fiu tot cu voi, în dosul stânii să-mi aud câinii, astea să le spui, iar la cap să-mi pui fluieraș de fag, mult zice cu drag, fluieraș de os, mult zice duios, fluieraș de soc, mult zice cu foc. Vântul când abate, prin ele ar răzbate, și oile s-or strânge, pe mine mor plânge, cu lacrimi de sânge. Iar tu de omor să nu le spui lor, să le spui curat, că m-am însurat cu o mândră grăiasă, a lumii mireasă, că la nunta mea a căzut o stea, soarele și luna mi-au ținut cu nuna, brazi și păltinași i-am avut nuntași, preoți, munții mari, păsări lăutari, păsărele mii și stele făclii. Iar dacă-i zări, dacă-i întâlni, măicuță bătrână, cu brâul de lână, din ochi lăcrimând, pe câmp alergând și la tot zicând, cine a cunoscut, cine mi-a văzut, mândru ciobănel, tras printr-un inel, fetișoara lui, spuma laptelui, mustăcioara lui, spicul grâului, perișorul lui, pana corbului, ochișorii lui, mura câmpului. Tu, mioara mea, să te înduri de ea și spune curat că m-am însurat. Cu o fată de crai, pe o gură de rai, iar la cea măicuță să nu-i spui drăguță, că la nunta mea a căzut o stea, că am avut nuntași, brazi și păltinași, preoți, munții mari, păsări lăutari, păsărele mii și stele făclii.